I honestly hoped I wouldn't have to make a video like this, but deep down I always expected this to happen eventually. So about flight blades. On paper, it's actually a decent idea, I really like them. Customizing your ship stats to perform better in one area at the cost of another. That's all well and good. The changes are minimal and that's okay too. I was even looking forward to seeing what they'd come up with these new gadgets at our disposal. But then they decided to sell them on the website. Worse still, they're making them exclusive for around 3 to 6 months before we can earn them in-game. That's one of the worst moves I've seen. I'm fine with quite a lot. Ships being exclusive for a while, selling armors and weapons for real money, even conversion kits to some extent. But not this. Never this. Not when it's directly gameplay affecting adjustments locked behind exclusivity. Luckily there aren't too many flight blades right now, but the fact that they even exist like this is concerning. Star Citizen is crowdfunded, and this kind of a move makes me uneasy. People vote with their wallets. If this gets any positive transactions, any positive actions or decent sales, despite the backlash, it will set a precedent. And you know what happens then? They'll do it again. The game already has a bad reputation among outsiders. Moves like this only add more fuel to the fire. I don't know exactly who's behind this scummy money-grabbing idea, but whoever it is should not be in charge of anything. I'd like to think it's just a marketing team and not a decision from higher up, but at the end of the day, someone has given a green light to this kind of nonsense. There needs to be a clear message sent. If these flight blades were sold on the website and released in-game at the same time, I still think it would be greedy, but players wouldn't have to spend their hard-earned cash on something like this. If Mr. Moneybags wants to throw money at convenience, fine, but locking these behind exclusivity window, that crosses a line. It's one thing to buy a ship you don't have time to grind for, but when you can now buy exclusive kits to optimize it even further, it's becoming pay to win. Sure, player skills still matter, but in competitive gameplay, these upgrades can make all the difference. Some might argue that Star Citizen has always been pay to win. I disagree. I see it more as pay to start your specialized progress. Two players starting out at the same time with different ships will progress differently, but it's not directly advantage outside of their chosen content. Flight blades, however, those affect the ships that you have, that you can buy for in-game money, real money, doesn't matter. The absolute worst thing they could do next is sell the future specialized gear that was shown off at CitizenCon. That gear is meant for special use and has special stats. Putting a price tag on that would ruin it completely, and this is kinda how it feels. Perhaps it could go even worse. You buy a newly released ship. Okay, 6 months has passed, now you can buy it for in-game money, and now we get flight blades for that ship. So another 6 months exclusive for ship being specialized in some way, like speed or maneuverability. And who's to say it would end here? A new ship weapon, module, missiles, any kind of gadget gets released. And it will be made 6 months exclusive for you to buy with real money. And of course, very likely it will be the best in its slot. Because if this were to succeed, that's very likely to be our future with this game, which is already crowdfunded, which has already been delayed for the longest time. I don't like to rant about this game, because I see a lot of potential and a lot of beautiful things in it. But even I have to draw a line somewhere, and I think this is one of those spots where we need to come together as a community and say no. On the bright side, the Spectrum posts about this have been overwhelmingly negative. The community isn't buying it, literally and figuratively. I'll leave a link below if you want to check it out. Bottom line, don't give in to the flight blades. You don't need them, not like this. Let's just hope for once they will listen. Anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.